Hello students! Accelerated English 2, we are going to continue and forge ahead with our vocabulary. So I'll be putting together some introductory videos like this one. We'll also be doing some practice together and I'll be advising you to keep going with our exercises, and we'll have some sort of assessment at the end of the week. Let's take a look at this week's words. Find Unit 18 in your book. I think you're going to recognize a lot of words this week. They all deal with perception or feeling, and many of them we've had in class before. So our first set of words this week, sorry about that interruption, I had to adjust my screen. So our first set of words this week comes from the feeling, Greek root of feeling and perception. So the aesthetic value or the aesthetics of something has to do with beauty or order, the kind of artistry that might be inherent. Our next set of word is anesthetic. So we have that prefix, an, and so that substance which causes a loss of feeling. If you've ever had to have surgery, maybe you've experienced an anesthetic. Those who are apathetic have no feeling or no strong emotion. We have that A, which signals no, right? So having no feeling, apathy, a very negative connotation. Empathy, on the other hand, is something we always try to encourage in one another, that sharing of another's emotions. Certainly we experience empathy with each other, even though we're far apart. We can recognize the kinds of worry and concern that are being felt throughout the world in this time of urgency. We've already studied pathos, right? It's one of our big three appeals, logos, pathos, ethos. So we understand that which evokes emotions, especially sadness or sympathy. Antipathy, that goes along with what we had earlier with apathy, right? Antipathy, so instead of no feeling, this is hostility or hatred. We have that anti prefix. Have to spotlight for you here. Auntie Patty felt strong antipathy towards anyone who cheated at cards. Womp, 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 womp. Okay, our next set of words comes from that Latin root, to feel, to be aware. When we think about sentient beings, we think about those who have a consciousness or awareness. This is certainly a word that comes up with AI. Our next word is sentinel. When we think of sentinel, we might think of legislation that was passed in recent years that allowed there to be sentinels in schools. So one who watches or guards, a sentinel. If you have a strong sentiment about something, then you have a strong feeling about it. Although Vinny expressed his sincere love for Sandra, she did not return the sentiment. Presentment, so that PRE prefix lets us know that we have some feeling about something before it happens. Maybe you remember our word last week, prescient. So that knowledge of something before it happens, this is a feeling, presentiment, a feeling of something before it happens. Our last set of words comes from the Latin to touch. So if something's tangible, we can grasp it and perceive it. We can recognize it with our basic senses. It's tangible. Tactile is something that pertains to touch. When we think about tactile awareness, and some people have more tactile needs, they need to hold a blanket or have a soft pillow nearby. Some of those tactile needs can be met. And lastly, if something's intact, then it's unbroken. It's whole. So from the Latin, not touched, but intact. All right, those are your words for this week for Unit 18. We'll do some practice. And I'll give you some further instructions. Talk to you soon.